right, just taking a quick look at this new Outback. So, yeah, a lot of people, they're not liking this new design. And it's not just because of the fact that it's less of a wagon. It's because of these other reasons, really, that really people are just pissed off, aren't they? Take the opportunity, really, to go to the dealership, go to the dealership and buy one right now before it's too late, right? That's kind of the moral of the story here. There's really no point in even making this making this video. I mean, this is let's just end it, right? Let's let's end the video right now. So now that we kind of got that, out of the way, let's get a little bit serious now and actually talk about why you're probably going to love this new Outback at least more than you do right now. So, yeah, let's see if I can convince you. Number one is these photos, right? These photos. Look at this. This whoever took this picture is like almost laying on the ground. So they're looking up at the vehicle, right? So, yeah, they're trying to actually trick you into thinking it looks taller, it looks more upright, it looks more like an SUV than it really is. Which is really unnecessary, isn't it? Because the design kind of does that on its own. But yeah, from this image here, you can see maybe they're not, laying on the grass. Maybe they're squatting or something with this one. It's a little bit higher and it does look a little bit more like a wagon. But there's a couple of things here too that I just want to note is, you know, from this front view, this front three-quarter view, really the biggest problem I see with this design is right here, the grille. It's so it's so ugly. It's so ugly. What is all this stuff that's going on here? These like overlapping. I don't know. This isn't doing. It's not. Hey, it's not a good look. And what's interesting too is that, you know, and this is of course standard for the industry, but this is the opening here. This is the actual where the air is actually going into the grill. So, you know, it's not only ugly, it's unnecessary, isn't it? So, you know, but one thing I would say is hopefully Subaru will offer a sport grill, a sport accessory grill, because actually they usually do this on most of their models. So this would be somewhere in the dealer catalog. So I just kind of photoshopped this real quick with just like, just blacked out. But imagine it's like a fine metal mesh, a fine wire mesh or something like that. Look at this. Hey, it looks 1,000% better, doesn't it? And it does kind of make it look a little bit more sporty, which naturally just makes it look less like an SUV, right? It looks more like a wagon, a performance wagon almost, right? That's very capable, still very rugged. And the rest of this design, yeah, it kind of allows you to kind of notice all the other little details of this new design that do actually look good. The split headlight treatment, you can take it or leave it. It's kind of a good idea to get the actual headlights, the low beams, a little, mounted a little bit lower. Just, it's less glare for the oncoming cars. So that's kind of a good functional reason. And then having the daytime running lights up high, maybe you notice them more. I do like, how they have all these different surfaces that kind of interlock, right? And the fog lights here, I really like this kind of squared off bezel for the fog lights. We'll talk about that more when we talk about the wilderness. And, this kind of unusual, just something different, right? How there's like this capped off section to the wheel, the fender. Yeah, the wheel arch cladding. So, yeah, actually it's pretty cool. It's a nice blocky, chunky design that really does work. It does look good. It's like, as long as you get something to kind of black out that grill. And then some people are also saying that this piece on the C-pillar that's painted body color somehow makes it look a little bit more like an SUV. I don't know, maybe you could fix that yourself. It's a can of spray paint, right? You could black that out. So, yeah, I don't know. Does that look better? Maybe it does. I don't know. Get some gloss black paint if it really bothers you. But yeah, if you did that and changed up the front grille, I think you start to see the wagon shape a little bit more. And then you'd have all the benefits of having this, larger interior. And this rear end, I really like the rear end, actually. It's actually quite a clean design, very just straight lines all the way across, right? Nothing too crazy back here. Again, you just fix that front grille. And kind of cool that they've brought some of the wilderness, design details to this standard Outback with the Subaru script, right? Kind of stamped right into the rear bumper. No extra coloring. You don't need to draw too much attention to it, but it does look cool, especially with the Outback script as well, up high. And the fact that this actually looks so good from the rear end almost makes the wilderness model. If you want to complain about this new design, I think we can go down the route with the wilderness model because, yeah, they actually went a little too far, a little too extreme. I think I've always liked some of the more bold decisions they made with the wilderness models, but it really just ruins. It could have been so much better, right? Let's be honest. It could have been so much better. So we'll talk about the wilderness more at the end of the video. Let's kind of get into the interior here, because this actually have a lot of complaints about as well. And a lot of people, they're actually happy about this change, right? Of course, fundamentally having the new screen and then having the large dials, right? Physical dials. That's what everybody wanted. So that is good. Fundamentally from a functionality standpoint, that's good. It's not good from a design standpoint, though, because it looks like they copied the Toyota Corolla. This is the Toyota Corolla, the little cheap economy sedan. This is the interior. And look at how not only do you have the infotainment screen with this gloss black bezel, this huge, nasty, chunky gloss black bezel, but even the way, look at the way this vent comes off the side here. Yeah, it's almost, I don't know, it's almost like a clone of that, isn't it? And then also this gloss black continues. There's like this upright frame around the gauge cluster. And that's actually taken from another Toyota, the Toyota Crown Signia. This thing here. So, yeah, you see it. And see how it's not just the same design, but it's gloss black. And this is nasty, isn't it? Everybody hates gloss black. And it's a bezel, too, right? This is the thing. Toyota's been doing this for a while, where they encase like their infotainment screens in these gloss black bezels. And everybody, the industry you're moving towards like more of almost a frameless bezel, right? So this is really bizarre that Subaru, look at this. Look at how thick and chunky this is. Is this 2025? Look at this. It's like an inch chunk bezel on it, isn't it? So that's nasty. And you can see, because it's not just one piece either, there's like different pieces that are assembled together. Like, to me, this reminds me of, like a TV from the 90s or something, right? So yes, it's good functionality standpoint, but it's a huge improvement. Let's be honest. Hey, it's a huge improvement over the current system with, the touch controls and all the climate stuff integrated into the screen. But the current system looks better. Let's be honest, it looks a lot nicer. But this is cool down here. So for these new physical climate controls, yeah, you get this dedicated screen and it lights up green, which is really interesting, isn't it? That's another kind of 90s throwback. Every electronic device that used to have like a green display on it, right? And that's, there was science behind that, right? Your eye can see green light the best. So that's actually interesting that they brought that back too. But I kind of like that. That's kind of a cool little retro thing. And the steering wheel is kind of weird. I guess this is like an early prototype vehicle, pre-production. But yeah, they have it in this brown interior, and then they have all this gray or silver stitching on it. And this is silver too. It doesn't match, does it? It doesn't match at all. So yeah, hopefully they fix that for production. But this is an interesting change you might like. The X mode button, right, is on the steering wheel now. So actually that kind of does make sense, doesn't it? You don't want to have to look down and, find it, switch the modes. You can do it right there. So yeah, they got rid of it on the down by the shifter in the console there. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a mixed bag with this interior, honestly. But you are going to have a lot more space, and yeah, it's probably just going to be a more natural experience using the infotainment screen. You're not going to be frustrated. If you need to just turn down the temperature, you just do it, right? You just do it. You just reach out, turn the knob. So yeah, kind of a mixed bag, but I think overall people are going to like this. Let me know if you like it.